Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for the first initial showcase on 7-star rank 3 SIG 126 Mr. Sinister. This guy is literally like bonkers. I don't know if Kabam knows what they released into the game. I hope they do. Either way, it's here. Let's go. We're going to show you him in long form, short form, battlegrounds, questing, war, crucible, the whole thing. Let's jump into it. And what I want you to see here, because this is really like amazing. There's going to be 838,000. This is the first fight in Crucible. We're going to have to deal with this node kind of in a way, but we're going to have to deal with Red Goblin's Energize. And this is going to be a constant theme throughout this video. And it's really adapted from Aiden, right? Egatron, you know how awesome he is, how smart. And he was one of the first people to be like, Sinister is going to be phenomenal. And he came up with this term, which is the hit minimization, okay? And we're fleshing it out because it's helping me explain why this champion is so insanely powerful, despite feeling relatively simple. It is not the same as Power Gain. I want to make that abundantly clear. I'm not saying he's like Hyperion or he's like Werewolf. What I'm saying, though, is within a minimal amount of hits, the amount of damage he can get out, and what I'm attempting, I think very well going to show you, is that there is a series of defenders, nodes, and threats that this game often presents that, similar to Power Gain, he is able to get around. His kit is constructed well enough that he can get around all these things. And like you're seeing here, I'm dealing with the Energize of the node or the defender, which would normally make you think you're not going to be able to sit there and parry heavy over and over and hold your heavy because they're going to keep gaining power. And you have to deal with it. We did deal with it. 860,000, whatever the hell that was, health. In let's see the official time. I did this fight a few times. I actually got it down to like 44 seconds, 55. But I made a pretty big mistake in the other one from being super aggressive. And so I was like, I want to show you this one instead. Continuing on this theme, now we're going to move over to war. This is going to be against Bullseye. This is a mini boss. We're in Platinum 3 here in 4 BGs, right? Drip, feed, placebo, resistance is futile. And this is the big one. This is what I want to show you too. Personal space regeneration. Like, that's a pretty hefty regen, and then enhanced recovery here as well. I'm not healing. I'm not healed. I'm not boosted in any way, shape, or form. And none of these synergies are helping out with this. The amount of damage he can do, right? And the threat from Bullseye is when he goes over a bar of power. There's another Bullseye fight. We're going to show you that in Battlegrounds here. And then also what I want to show you is, one, I mean, he heals back these crits and all this stuff. It's phenomenal for a player of my sort. But then also the ability to block unblockable attacks. Watch, I believe it is this fight. I think it's going to be the other Bullseye one too. I'm going to trigger right here. And then look, we're able to recover and block that. That is massive. That is massive. Not only for Bullseye. Yes, it pertains and helps me absolutely destroy this Bullseye and other fights, but it's going to be helpful in significant other fights too. And it's just part of his kit. You don't need him awakened for this. Can just block unblockable special attacks from every class except for tech. And then you're seeing the healing back here. You're seeing all the mistakes I made completely unboosted in none at all. That fight is done in less than a minute. That was a rank, I believe it was a rank 3 Bullseye. It might have been rank 2. I don't care. At 300 and some odd thousand health in a node that's actually healing Bullseye as well. We get it down in less than a minute. Now we're moving on. We're going to show actually 2 fights in Gauntlet. Again, going through, and one of the things that was also amazing for me about this is the variety of defending threats that he can handle, not just in nodes, but in the defenders themselves. Again, I am not synergized. I am not boosted, nothing like that. I'm running recoil, okay? In this node, right, it has the glancing, but also you're going to take damage back. He happens to be size medium, so he can land, I believe it's his heavies and his special attacks. And you can see like how much damage we are putting out. You just hold your block there. That right there was a perfect example of we didn't even have to hit Doom. We didn't even have to hit Doom. I was so far away, and because I was so far away, I knew I could hold my heavy, pause the stun, and pause the degens, and still have time to block Doom's special. Like yeah, I love Aiden's term, the hit minimization. We're going to continue on with this. This is just wild to me, to use the gaming term or the MCoC term. Like, this feels illegal. This honestly feels illegal. Like, yeah. And I'll address this right now, actually, because we're about to do this Terrax, is, you know, I put out the video, the best champions to awaken with your Saga resources. I talked openly about I was going to awaken Sinister. I did buy the daily deal so I could get him faster. But everyone, as long as you fulfill, you know, do the objectives or whatever, the events over the course of the next 3 or 4 months, you can get a 7-star Sinister too. I will put it up because Misty K has done an infographic on this for all the events, how to get the tickets. There's actually 129 available, and he's going to cost 100 of them. You won't be able to awaken him. That's why I use the Saga Stone, and I talked about that in all my videos, best champions to awaken, all this stuff. And I put my 6 stones into him as well. Follow me on Twitter. I will post Misty's infographic on Twitter, Vega583 or Vega Playbook, I think it is, and we'll go through there. So continuing on the hit minimization, all the damage we were able to get out. It's just, I mean, you see it right there too. Plus he's healing. You're running recoil and he's healing. In my initial rank up video, I showed him without recoil on, still doing amazing damage. Just absolutely bonkers wild. Here's more utility. It's not like obvious in his kit, but then once you play him, you realize, oh my God, he can also do this. Nightcrawler, right? This is an Awakened Nightcrawler. Huge shout out and thank you to BMcG. Phenomenal channel. Spent time late at night with me getting in some duels and things like that so we could, not duels, but friendly matches so we could do this. Is evading, right? Well, he's not going to evade while he's stunned. He's not going to evade while he's stunned. Guess what? Because of the hit minimization, right? Sinister is able to dish out a tremendous amount of damage just through this. Is another thing I like. The SP1, the degens will land even through the block. So I had the space. I knew I was going to be okay. I just threw it. And we're holding the heavy, which you want to do anyways to get up your vicious and then your molecular, whatever the other thing is that puts the bleeds on you, right? And then again, just the way he's built, you can see the passive bulwark there, helping us with our block proficiency. Again, I took advantage of the elongation of the degens by holding heavy. Nightcrawler was on the other side of the screen. I knew I had my relic. And if Nightcrawler did dive in, I could just use my relic to intercept him. It's just that, and that whole time I'm holding heavy, I'm also doing tremendous damage. Now we've got a rank 2 Bullseye now, right? Okay. Oh, also really important to point out, BMcG is definitely running 3 out of 3 inequity. Yeah, I believe that's what it is, right? The one that basically reduces the attack power of the opponent for all the debuffs on him. That's one of the issues with Sinister in PvP. Well, he's still pulling off good scores as a 6-star. Don't get me wrong. A lot of you use him in Battlegrounds against me as your 6 stars. 7-star rank 3, even better, right? And the Awakened ability, you can see it kicking in this particular fight. We've got 2 of the skill, 1 of the cosmic, 1 of the mutant. I really think it's the cosmic that's helping out the most, not that the others aren't doing anything here. The skill is increasing my crit rating, which is nice, right? Because you see the heavies, let's see if this heavy does big damage. No, okay. Oh, this is my whole, I love that he can block unblockables and things like that and recovers. He's tanky. You saw the mistakes made, still come out with 98% health. What I was going to point out there, though, is I've noticed a special one, not massive, but I've noticed heavies critting in the 20 and 30,000s. Like, for a champion that you're also holding your heavy and landing a lot of heavies, that's pretty damn good. Now we're going to jump into, this is a quest team from MCoC Encyclopedia. I will link his channel. Really cool. He's been sending me some really good advice on how to get better with Sinister as well, too. I'm not playing him perfectly there. There was a perfect example of a heavy hitting for 36,000. But we've got this awesome synergy team, kind of centers around Guardian and Wolverine, or you could use Deadpool if you want to. And then, of course, Apocalypse. And it's basically giving you that perfect block, which gives you the elongated block, which gives you more time to hold your heavy, keep the degens going, pause them. So even his synergy team in questing is great too. And if you thought that was impressive, wait till you see these next 2. They're going to be incredibly fast. And then we'll get back to some of the non-questing content as well. So now we're going up against Wolverine, right? We can't reduce his healing. We don't have a heal block. We don't have petrify. We've got nothing like that. We just need to out damage what is a 3,166 per tick. Again, hit minimization though, right? We're not hitting him that often. We're not giving him too much power. We're 7 hits into this fight and he's already at 30% health. We've got the power lock there from the synergy. Phenomenal champions in Kingpin and Ultron, who's now, you know, we're seeing him as a 7-star. I can't wait to get, I really want to get a 7-star Ultron now, because that is a phenomenal team, 23 seconds. And then this is fully built up. Remember, the signature ability is going to kick in. You like basically take the powers of the opponents you have defeated. Really, really cool. Love that. I've got it SIG 126, guys. You can see all of them lined up there, right? Doing good work for me. 4 of the Cosmics. We beat some Cosmic champions. We're going up against Hulk here. I don't even remember how much health he had, but we're just beating the crap out of this guy. Finally able to get our parry stun in. He's dead. He's dead. Didn't even have to hit him there. Just holding heavy. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful thing. Continuing on, I think we have one more war fight, and then we're going to jump into, no joke, Labyrinth of Legends, unboosted, unsynergized in 2 minutes. So here we go. This one was really interesting to me too, right? This is lane 7 in Alliance War, so we're going to get this fatigue debuff on us. That's bad. Boo. We don't like it. They're going to get going with shrugging things. Kingpin's obviously shrugging things, right? Purifying our debuffs. He's also going to get up. See, he's already got Energize. So again, I can't say this enough. And Aiden saw this. I think from just even the kit of Sinister, was like this hit minimization, right? Like, look how dangerous this can get with Kingpin here. How much power he is gaining from just a single heavy, right? Almost a full bar there. So we need to do a tremendous amount of damage in a very short amount of time. We have no sort of power control. We cannot handle Energize, but just the way his kit is built, his ability to do significant damage without actually hitting the opponent, I cannot wait to play him more and get out a longer, like more eye-opening, crazy video on him, because I can tell it's going to be possible, right? I think in the next month or two, it's just going to be even more bonkers, because this is showing us like all the various things he can do. And then I'm just going to come up with example after example of example. We're now going to fight. This is what, 1.5 million health. I'm just going to kind of talk about him while we go through this fight with Red Hulk. I again want to emphasize, no synergies, no boosts. Can't even run White Magneto if we wanted, because he's not metal, which seems strange when you look at him, and not a hero. So we can't even get the passive stun. Oh, which is another thing that I wanted to mention as far as his utility, that it's not like incredibly clearly obvious when you first read his kit. He gets around limber, right? So if those of you who haven't, relative to the game, maybe you haven't been in Labyrinth of Legends, limber is built into this. But as you're going to see, he can just pause the stun. The stun still lands, right? You can see how quickly the stun's going right there, but we're able to get our heavy going, pause the stun. That will continue to happen throughout the fight. You can tell the stuns are barely lasting at all. We've got Red Hulk at 66% health. You can see this, right? And so anytime there's limber, which is a very common threat, put on nodes, put on things, Mr. Sinister is just going to completely help you get around it. And while that is minimizing the amount of time he can hold his heavy, his damage is still good enough. His kit is like, I use the term insulated a lot when I'm talking about champions, that he's fine. He's fine. He's actually more than fine. He's still great. He's wild. I'm like, I really mean it when I say, like, I don't know if I'm kind of actually shocked we have him as a 7-star already. I've seen the power of the 6-star. I've seen what he was able to do coming out as a 7-star with the 7-star challenge rating and all of those things and the stat focus. I love that he's here. He's a blast, and we're all going to be able to get him for free. I love it. We're going to continue getting out more Sinister content, especially as I learn to play him better in Battlegrounds. Optimize him. You saw some good scores already against rank 2 Bullseye, rank 2 Nightcrawler, and the versatility of champions he can take is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And then not to mention, pretty crazy defender too if you don't have a robot with heal block or shocker. Because I don't know. I'm curious. We'll see. I'm going to place him. Maybe Cosmic Ghost Rider will still be able to take him down. I don't know. I know I can take down 6-star rank 5 Ascended with my Cosmic Ghost Rider. Maybe he'll still be able to do it. But ultimately, even if he can, doesn't matter. As usual, Let me know what we got right. Let me know what we got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know, is he bonkers or just insanely bonkers? Take care.